Jen here with Christmas in January. I love this series so much, and I am glad that it's back this year because I definitely need the incentive to get my butt in gear and start working on my December daily for 2022. And so that is what I just did a bit of a flip through for you. That's pretty much all I've got done. I've written down every day which photos are going to go onto which page and kind of given myself an idea of how many pictures I have so that I can start creating my base pages. And then I've cut some of my papers. You can see here where these ones are all cut out. I went ahead and popped those into the pockets. And just kind of got some of those pages that I knew I wanted to use, maybe a particular part of the pattern, or the pattern worked well for whatever pictures were going on that day. So I've got a bunch of those done. And then I have some ephemera kind of tucked into quite a few of the pockets, and that's about it. So not very far along in my progress. And I would really love to get it done in the next couple of months because I also need to work on 2021, which I'm not done. So that's probably what you're going to be seeing from me on the 25th of every month. That's what the Christmas In series is. On the 25th of every month, we post some Christmassy projects that we're working on, maybe Christmas cards for this year's Christmas, kind of working ahead, or if you're like me, maybe playing catch up on December dailies, or just some fun Christmas layouts, whatever you want to do, just to have a little bit of festive Christmas fun. I've said that way too many times, sorry, on the 25th of every month. So the links are all down below, and probably they will change a little bit every month depending on who has projects to work on and things like that. So definitely come back because lots and lots of people love to participate, and you'll see lots of fun Christmassy stuff going on. And who doesn't love to have a little bit of Christmas all year round? It's my favorite thing to scrapbook, so I definitely appreciate being able to watch other people doing it all year round. And it is a great way to get ahead on Christmas cards if that's what you want to do. So if you want to take this inspiration and kind of work ahead a little bit and be ready for the Christmas season at the end of the year, then that is definitely a great idea. I'm hoping probably by summer that I'm done my December dailies so that I can go ahead and start creating some Christmas cards too. So I'll see you in the summer and we'll see where I'm at. So for today, though, I am going to do the title page for my album. Really, really simple. This Christmas was very simple. We did not do a lot of stuff. I was still recovering from surgery. I still couldn't lift or push or pull anything more than 10 pounds. So I couldn't really go out with the kids by myself unless they were going to help me lift Landon into shopping carts or do that kind of stuff. I couldn't really push like a full shopping cart of stuff, or I wasn't supposed to. I guess I did a couple times. Shh, don't tell anyone. But yeah, I wasn't supposed to be doing a lot of that kind of stuff. And so it just made for a more quiet year. I didn't go into a shopping mall and do any kind of Christmassy shopping. And we didn't do Christmas, like the Santa parade or anything like that. And so it's going to be a pretty probably simple Christmas album. I have pictures for every day. But a lot of the days I just have one photo where you guys know I'm notorious for trying to squeeze in way more than one photo, even though I think technically December Daily is supposed to be, or at least it started out as sort of being like one photo to represent each day. I definitely like to get as many as possible in there. But this year it's going to be a lot more back to that kind of traditional way. So many days will only have one photo or maybe two photos. And so really simple pages. It's an 8x8 album, so it's kind of a fun size to be working with, where I could fit lots of pictures if I wanted to, but also just having one small picture is going to, make a really nice page as well. So, um, I have my little helper here who has been glued to me whenever I'm at home since I started back to work a couple weeks ago. He has not left my side, and yeah, I cannot leave his sight when I'm at home. He's definitely missing Mama now that I'm back to work. So he's been crafting with me and kind of helping me create my beautiful pages. But this title page was super simple. I used the scraps that I've already created from cutting out some of those pages. I added them onto the black cardstock piece, which is actually the insert from the page protectors that are already in the album. So some of the pages, obviously, I'm using the patterns on both sides of the pattern paper, and so I pulled out that black insert. So I've got a few of them that I'll go ahead and use as the base for some of the extra pages I have to create, because there's only 10 page protectors, so that's 20 days. I'll need 5 more. And so I figured I would go ahead and use these black pieces just to help create those 5 extra pages. And if I need to do any extra little tip-ins or things like that, I can create them with the black inserts as well. I kind of like the way that the black background makes the colors from this collection pop, especially the pinks and the lighter blue, kind of minty blue color. I just think it's really fun. Even that yellow. So I kind of like the black, and it's something a little bit different from my other albums. So I think that will work nicely as kind of being a base page color that you'll see repeating throughout the album. And it just means that I'm using up those pages that came with the album itself. So, did I already mention that the album is a Recollections album? I got it at Michael's on clearance. And that's kind of how December Daily goes for me. I'm always looking for a different size or maybe a different style, different format, so that all of my albums are a little bit different from year to year. But also, I will tend to go for things that I either already have in my stash, or I kind of look for clearance stuff, especially if I'm going to do an actual album. Those are expensive, and they're expensive to ship. If I can't find them here in Canada, they're often really expensive to get shipped. So when I saw this one at Michael's on clearance, even though it's kind of like a yucky brown color, I'll have to figure out a way to cover that up. And it is post bound, which isn't necessarily my favorite format for an album, but it's definitely different from my other December dailies. So I think that it kind of works, and it just makes it fun when you're pulling them out and the kids kind of like to look through them from year to year, or if you have guests over or family, that kind of thing, and they're looking through them from year to year, then it's something a little bit different. I completely appreciate and love the people who kind of do the exact same album format every year, and their albums all look really neat and well put together, and when they have them out on display, they're all matching and stuff. I love that. But I kind of like when I can go through mine and they're all a little bit different, and I've tried some, weird techniques, or I've done some pretty kind of crazy things with my albums in the past, like literally gluing 2 4x4 albums together, one on top of the other, to create this really weird album. So yeah, I kind of like that each of mine are a little bit different and unique. So that's what works for me. Clearance stuff works for me, and yeah, I'll figure out how to cover that album eventually, I think. So that'll probably be one of my videos. But for my title page here, I just kept it really simple. I cut out some of those scraps. I used a title that was already in the foam title pack. It just says Merry Christmas, and I'll go ahead and add the date to that, I think, at the bottom. and then some sequins and some splatters, and that's kind of it for the title. And then here on the back, I decided I would go ahead and create a couple little pockets with those pieces from the cut apart sheet. And then I could do a little bit of journaling on the outside, because you can see the one card that says December has some lines in it, and the one that has joy is kind of a grid pattern. So I can do a little bit of journaling on the outside, just kind of, about our Christmas intentions and how the season was, that kind of thing. But then I can also do a little bit of extra hidden journaling on these tags that were also a cut apart sheet. And just include some of the other stuff, like me recovering from surgery and our little guy working through some stuff to be diagnosed with epilepsy and, medication and all that kind of stuff. And just, it's not that it's necessarily private, but if I were to pull out this album to maybe show in a flip through or in a class or that type of thing, then some of that extra journaling could kind of be hidden. And that's really it. That's going to be my title page. Super quick, simple, easy. Really just using the collection itself and then adding some sequins and splatters, and I'm all done. So that is it for me for the first Christmas in of the year, and definitely come back and check it out from month to month. Click all the links down below so you can see everybody else that's playing along. And until next month, happy scrapping. Bye.
Bye. Thanks to me. She button. Tell my channel.